Good morning. My name is Rakesh Gollapalli. I'm a Vice President and Regional Head with Infosys, responsible for our automotive practice. Thanks for this exciting opportunity. It has been an absolute pleasure to listen to automotive industry leaders when they are sharing their perspectives on data monetization, ADAS, digital chassis, and the OEM transformation through technology. All of these are extremely interesting insights that connect horizontal dots from parts manufacturing and assembly lines to dealers and modern consumers. At Infosys, we have taken an outside-in perspective to look at consumer experience and the corresponding transformation pillars that will define OEM of the future. Today, I will cover three aspects, which is around experience, servitization, and transforming the core. All of these will help connect vertical dots across auto customer expectations, impact of the changing business models, and essentials for OEM digital architecture ecosystem to support the same. We see that there are 5 trends that are dramatically changing and reshaping the automotive industry. 1, the connected product itself. These will transcend traditional boundaries and help unlock newer levels of capabilities, resulting in the need for entire value chain redesign. 2, smart manufacturing executed in factories of the future. They will leverage AI, IoT, real-time data, and drive data-driven decisions about assets, products, resources, and all the processes involved. 3, customer experiences will be driven by retail models, engaging customers across the product lifecycle with a B2B2C focus. Servitization will drive exponential growth for OEMs. OEMs will continuously experiment on pay-as-you-go services. Finally, OEMs will continue to focus on digital enablement and building capabilities on their core platforms to offer innovative end customer services. While each of these are topics for discussion on their own, in today's presentation, I will focus on the customer experience journey across shop, buy, and own cycle. I will also talk about servitization, its impact on customer interactions, and then cover the 5 essential pillars of digital and modernization initiatives. Let's travel back in time, back when you bought your first car. And I remember that day very vividly. When I bought my first car, the whole experience was once in a lifetime event. I asked family members, we checked with friends, we took opinions, recommendations, took some cars out for test drive, explored many dealerships before I finally chose my first car. Fast forward to 2021. The digital innovation has confined the entire journey to a very simple 12-step process. And this is something that I can complete laying on my bed at 2 a.m. in the night. While, on one hand, this entire purchase cycle has reduced, but at each step, the digital interventions are causing exponentially higher impact. Just take the first step in this diagram, for example. Explore. From a couple of close friends' opinions to millions of reviews to recommendations, experiences, perspectives, all this that you can get on a click of your mobile phone. In fact, McKinsey says that 45% of car buying cohorts by 2025 will be millennials. So what that essentially means for OEMs is you are going to deal with customers leveraging digital power at every step of the buying process. They want to ensure that they are getting the right product. They want to ensure that they are getting the service that fits specifically to their needs. Second important aspect is if you look at the second part of the cycle, which is the post-ownership cycle, here interactions are much simpler, warranty, claims, etc. But it's very important for building a deeper brand loyalty because to help the next step of ownership decisions. We will shortly see how these experiences impact loyalty. Automotive industry today is at a crossroads, going through immense challenges with more changes predicted in the next 10 years than what we have seen in the past 30 years. Customer expectations will be driven largely by factors across 3 main categories: macro factors, business factors, and technology factors. Macro factors are things associated with privacy, regulations, environment, etc. Business factors are driven by advances in EV, AV, mobility, and other things like that. Technology factors are factors like AI, e-commerce, and digitization. These factors are going to drive service-based revenue centers, like mobility and transportation as a service, connectivity services, remote features upgrade. All of these new business models could expand automotive revenues significantly. In fact, it is expected that it will expand this pool by about 30%, adding a whopping $1.5 trillion to this ecosystem. Therefore, it is imperative that OEMs have to develop IT platforms, capabilities, and build partner networks to support this overall mobility ecosystem. Analysts like Gartner and TrueCar reiterate that digital consumers will continue to grow online presence and consumption. Gartner, in fact, says that 83% will start the purchasing process online. TrueCar goes a step further and says that upwards of 54% are starting to finalize the orders online too. We have covered the impacts of digitization on the shop, buy, own life cycles, and also the corresponding shift to servitization. Now, let's look at how this will impact the interactions of the future customers. This will lead to shorter life cycles, iterative subscription services, which will provide tremendous opportunities to influence customers across each and every touch point. But what will this mean also is it will result in more interactions where customers will demand flexibility, options, best fit, etc. Also, we will see that there will be an increase in transaction volumes. This will increase exponentially, but the dollar value will be a fractional. It will be very small. More channels where brand loyalty will be spread thin across the engagement channels. We will also see more data. What it will mean is that it will unlock newer avenues to dig deeper for profitability, loyalty, and also introducing new services. While e-commerce platforms will act as an essential link to seamlessly engage customers, irrespective of their dealership visit, online interaction, or store visits, but there is a compelling data point. If you see 69% of customers leave due to poor service rather than the poor product itself. Hence, elevating the customer experience across each and every transaction to a concierge service level will be very, very essential if you want to retain customers. Let's now pivot into and look at the specific example of a shop buy own cycle. Right from marketing campaign to online comparisons, configurations, inventory visibility, the financial aspects, the purchasing aspects, delivery, ownership. In fact, majority of the OEMs are making significant investments towards UI and UX. However, it is important to understand that enabling futuristic experiences for these buyers takes much more than just enabling a very good looking UI. We need a truly seamless experience to deliver it when each interaction across the shop buy own phase of the customer journey is enabled by evolving technology ecosystems. An ecosystem that adapts to customer needs and behaviors, an ecosystem that seamlessly navigates customers to the next step in the life cycle. At Infosys, we call this digitization as energizing your core, where the focus is to enable back-end applications and ecosystems so that we are able to deliver this customer experience. In fact, this ecosystem will have capabilities around extreme automation, polycloud solutions, agile and nimble architecture, AI and ML-driven experiences, and a lot of hybrid horizontally scalable application landscapes. Finally, we believe that a true IT landscape to support these type of initiatives, to support the car of the future, will be established across 5 pillars. That's experience, insight, innovation, accelerate, and assurance. As a trusted IT partner for leading automotives across the globe, we have been helping OEMs to elevate the experience by empowering customers to manage their cars through smartphones, enabling first line of digital engagement for dealerships through AI, AR, VR kiosks, delivering omni-channel experiences powered by conversational AI. If you look at the second pillar, this is around insights. We are working with the automotive industry majors to help uncover insights for enterprise to drive business decisions, unlocking opportunities for optimization and data-driven decision making with a comprehensive 360-degree view of products, customers, and dealerships. Also, augmenting cognitive capabilities to deliver incentive forecasting, fraud detection, so on and so forth. Further, we are very proud to co-innovate with leading automakers and catalyze the future by developing smart interfaces for vehicles to facilitate future transactions for various functions, building future-ready platforms for car sharing, ride sharing, and also things like driving fleet optimizations. The fourth pillar Infosys team is engaged on with the OEMs is around acceleration. And this is achieved by accelerating deterministic automation through robotic process automation, building microservices enabling APIs for e-commerce and other sales functions, building future-ready platforms for car sharing and ride sharing, enabling modernization of ERP and ERP applications with cloud migration. Finally, on the last pillar, we are helping many OEMs to deliver enterprise-grade security by simplifying compliance reporting and advanced projects, such as security enablement and assurance for enterprises and also the connected car. All in all, with our services framework and credentials, we will continue to play a very vital role in OEM's journey towards the car of the future. Thanks a lot for your time today, and we are open for questions.
Hi, we have Rakesh Gollapalli, Global Head and VP Automotive Manufacturing Infosys, and Vinay Joshi, Associate Vice President Automotive Manufacturing as well in Infosys, joining me for just to answer a couple of questions that we have, and maybe we can just go straight over. Rakesh, can you tell me please what is the latest trend in shop buy on technology focus?
Rakesh, there was a question.
Can you hear me? Okay. Rakesh, what is the latest trend in shop buy on technology focus?
Yeah. So as we saw the prediction from Gartner, and in my session, you would have seen I gave you some data points. Online processing, purchase, and payments are bound to grow. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you well.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think there is some kind of. Are you guys able to hear me? Sorry about that.
Yeah, we can still hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, Rakesh, maybe if you have anything else open, maybe you can close the other sessions.
Okay, let me. Okay.
Yeah.
I can hear now. I can hear now.
Brilliant. I'm just gonna repeat the question. What is the latest trend in shop buy on technology focus? I don't think he can.
Sims, in the interest of, I think the technology glitch, is that okay, Brenda, if I answer this question on behalf of Rakesh?
Yeah,
so,
go on.
So as we have seen, right, the predictions from Gartner as well, and Rakesh spoke about certain numbers as well in terms of how the online payment processing, the purchase and the volumes are bound to grow. And we see this is applicable not only for the automotive vertical, but across the vertical, this trend is basically very prominent. Now, when we come to our OEM customers, right, OEMs are focusing around building the technology stack that can support this volume and end-to-end experience with both B2B and B2C channels as well. And essentially the model which is getting derived now, along with the dealership sales versus the direct sales is around the B2B to C models, which is basically going to demand more harmonization across technology platform, more exchange of the data seamlessly across the technology platform. So especially around the shop, buy and own, we have seen OEMs doing more and more investments around the retail transformations. And second is around the e-commerce technology stack.
Okay, and how do you see mainframe playing and shaping up in the technology that supports the cars of the future?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, and especially for the established OEMs, right, where the mainframe has played a larger role in their previous growth and all. See, if you just pure play look at the technology part, the mainframe technology really has to have some value in addition to just the large data processing, because with the cloud adoption, that value proposition is lost to a larger extent. But given that the mainframes are still playing such a large role in our ecosystem, they are bound to stay. Cloud migration of the mainframe technology is one of the very prominent trend we have seen it across our OEM clients. And then slow migration of where does it not make sense to keep it in the mainframe technology, slow migration of that to the cloud native apps or the ERP packages and all. That's also an important trend we have seen.
And what is your perspective on the future of service? What role does AI plays in the future of service?
Yes, as this shop buy and own cycle is there, right? We see majority of the customers spending more time in the ownership, where the transactions and the volume of the transactions is going to go very high. And one of the recent study which we did, there was a survey done. We found that the 63% of the customers are essentially leaving because not that the product is bad, but the 63% of the customers are leaving the brand because the service to that particular brand is bad. And we see therefore the service playing a major role in terms of the customer loyalty in future as well. And from a trend of the AI, we see that the evolution towards the concierge service trend happening, where the typical transactions and maybe a payments or so and so forth, or even it's a dispute, that can be a very easily resolvable with an intelligent AI conversations, which is basically upfront in the web portals or your mobile applications and so on and so forth. But when it comes to the contact centers or the customer service agents, we see them more as a concierge service, where they are taking care of experience, they are taking care of the customer needs, giving the personalized touch, and doing all this, they are selling it more. And therefore, we see that the customer service are typically changing from a cost centers to the profit centers.
Okay, thank you very much, Rakesh and Binan. Unfortunately, we ran out of time, but I really appreciate your time and your insights. And well, the time, I mean, has flown by. We have had some really interesting and insightful discussions. If you missed any of today's session, don't worry, they will be uploaded to the on-demand hub. And do make sure to join us again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time for another day of very timely discussions with senior executives from Neuro, Hyundai, Cruise, Zoox, ARM, Bentley Motors, Audi, and more. Bye for now.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Brenda.